Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Emma, I'm 7 years old and I'm currently in recovery from anorexia. And today I'm going to be discussing the two topics that I'm most asked about, and that is how to cope with the fear of weight gain and gain anyways, and how to cope with the guilt after eating. So these are my two most frequently asked questions ever. I get questions and DMs about them pretty much every single day. And I mean, it's kind of obvious. I mean, anorexia and stuff obviously stems from the fear of gaining weight and obviously doing things to make sure that you don't gain weight. Same with bulimia and stuff like that. They're still kind of suppressing your weight at a certain level. So obviously, it's gonna be scary. You're gonna have that fear, and that fear isn't gonna go away in a week or something. So you need to remember that this process is a whole rewiring inside that little brain of yours, and it needs to take time. And it is possible, and I am proof of that, I guess, because although I'm nearing now a healthy weight, I am expecting to overshoot my weight, and I'm kind of okay with that. I've prepared myself mentally for that to happen, and if I overshoot, it's gonna be right, okay, this is okay. My body needs to do this in order to be at its healthy weight, because a lot of people get mixed up with healthy and healthy. So a lot of people go by BMI scales for doctors' examples, and BMI is body mass index, and it's kind of unreliable. Body mass index isn't your healthy weight. That's just BMI and NHS guidelines. A piece of paper is not your body. Your body knows where it wants to be and where it can function best. A piece of paper or number doesn't really say that. That's why the scales are unreliable. Body mass index doesn't take into account muscle to fat or bone. So you need to remember that. So for example, if a weightlifter went on a scale and they obviously had a lot of muscle, which weighs heavier than fat, it would obviously mean that they're a higher weight and they would get put in the obese category, even though they are extremely fit and healthy. So just bear that in mind of how trustworthy BMI scales are. So you must remember that if you are at a healthy weight, BMI kind of things, then that does not still mean that it's your healthy weight. If you're still having mental hunger, you're still obsessed with food, and you have to do things to keep your weight at a specific level, such as exercising or even doing crazy things like purging and stuff, then that means that you're not at your own healthy weight, and it means that you still need to gain weight. So obviously I'm prepared for that to happen. So I have a thing, so people say that when they get weight restored, it means that they're back to their healthy weight. But for example, weight restored to me is my weight when I was 12 years old. And now I'm nearly 18. So my 12-year-old self isn't going to be the same weight as an adult Emma, if you get what I mean. So you also need to bear that in mind as well. So let's go on to how to cope with the fear of weight gain and how to gain weight regardless of your fears and stuff like that. So first of all, you need to remind yourself that gaining weight is not bad. Even if you don't believe it, and even if you are absolutely terrified of gaining weight, you need to keep it in your brain that gaining weight is okay. And the only way to show your brain that that is okay is by gaining weight and not doing anything about it. So your body is freaked because every time you stand on the scales or whatever like that, and for starters, you shouldn't even be weighing yourself, but if obviously you get weighed by your doctors or whatever, which you can request to be blind weighed, but if in circumstances you know what your weight is and stuff like that, then if you see that weight going up and stuff like that on the scales, then you need to remind yourself that your brain will probably be freaked out at first. It will probably be, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever, because you've taught your brain that. Your brain didn't just instantly do that when you were born. You've taught your brain over time that gaining weight is bad. And every time you start to see it on you and stuff like that, you're start freaking out, being oh no, this is the worst thing that could happen, when in reality it isn't. It's probably the best thing that could possibly happen right now. So you want to make sure that you remind yourself over and over again, gaining weight is okay, because it is. And the next thing you have to do is get over this fat phobia. So you need to remind yourself that you have fat, you are not fat. Fat is not a feeling. It is a thing that everyone has. Every single person on this planet has fat on their body somewhere, and they need it. You have, for example, you have a stomach pouch to protect your organs. That little like blip thing that's like round on your belly, that's there to protect you. If you didn't have that, your organs would kind of be like really prone to getting damaged and stuff like that. So that's all there for a reason. Like, all I have to say is that everything is there for a reason, and everything happens for a reason, because it literally does when it comes to your body. Your body doesn't send you signals to eat for no reason. Your body doesn't send you signals to pee for no reason. Like, you know, everything has a purpose, and everything inside your body is doing its thing for a reason. You know, like, so you just need to remind yourself to trust your body and trust what's going to happen. And the next thing you want to do is don't set a goal. Don't set a goal weight, even if it's high weight. Don't even set it. Just go for it and just do it, and don't focus on a number or a BMI, because 9 times out of 10, that like low number that you might have in your brain, or even high number that you might have in your brain, if you overshoot that, it will freak you out even more. When I first attempted to do recovery, I had this number in my brain because of CAM's teams and stuff like that, of where they wanted me to be at. And I focused and focused and focused on this thing, and I overshoot that weight. And it freaked me out because I was still actively restricting. I was still like doing behaviors and stuff like that. And my weight gain wasn't slowing down anytime soon. But because CAM said this is the weight that I need to be at, and this is the weight that I need to start maintaining my weight on, and this is the weight that I have to start following this maintenance meal plan, it freaked me out. You know what I mean? And it just caused me to have a major relapse as well. And then whereas now I'm prepared to overshoot. I'm not restricting. I'm probably the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. I'm being able to eat whatever I want whenever I want, and my mental hunger is definitely decreasing. And that's just all signs of my body now naturally reaching my own healthy weight point. But my healthy weight point isn't your healthy weight point. And like, for example, a 4'9" little girl isn't gonna be the same as like a 5'9" girl. You get what I mean? So like, there's loads of different things that go into why other people like aren't gonna have the same healthy weight as you, because everyone's body is different. Some bodies function better overweight. My sister is one of them. Her body maintains naturally at overweight thing, but she's most healthiest there. If she got any lower, she would start to experience things like mental hunger, and she would probably be cold all the time. She'd have all the side effects that we would have if you were underweight. And that is the exact same with like people. What I'm trying to say basically is that when you reach your healthy weight, you will know, because you won't be obsessed about food, you won't have mental hunger, you won't be when I'm talking about healthy weight, I mean your healthy weight again, not talking about BMIs again. You'll have like a good body temperature, like, you know, like you'll just be like content, to be honest, in your body, and your body will have like its period regularly. Your hair and stuff, your hair won't fall out. There's just so many signs of you being healthy. And if you're still underweight and you're still not having, and by my underweight I don't mean BMI again, I mean under your weight. Like, people think that they need to be underweight though to recover from a restrictive eating disorder. And that's not the case. Like I said, you know, even if you're overweight, that might be your healthy weight. Or if you're overweight, like a little bit, and you still need to go a little bit further to be your healthy weight, then you still need to do that. It doesn't make you any less worthy of doing it. And your ED will convince you that, you know, this is the worst thing, and that you won't be happy at a higher weight, and you can never love your body at a higher weight. Me personally, I'm sorry I'm getting so emotional, I don't even know why. Me personally, my brain told me that I'd hate my body so much, and that I could never like myself at this weight. Why am I getting so emotional? And it was all lies. Like, I was personally betrayed by my own brain, and you are getting betrayed equally as much. Like, you believe that your ED is this kind of friend who's helped you and like is like really being there for you and stuff and is keeping you in control and shit, but it's not. It's bullshit. And it's literally just feeding you lies after lies after lies, and you need to wake up. Like, you need to understand that gaining weight is not the worst thing that could happen, and that your life could instantly be snatched away with you in a second. And do you really want to spend your last days restricting, being obsessed about your body, missing out on memories that you could be spending with your family while you're doing stupid things like exercising, or spending your head in the toilet purging? Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to just tell you that life is so much more than what you look like and how much you weigh or how much fat you have, or you know, what your stomach looks like and stuff like that. Everything we see around us is 9 times out of 10 is fake. Then billboard things, movies, like, you know, it's all kind of photoshopped, and it's like, it's the harsh reality of the world we live in, because we are constantly, you know, bombarded with thin is good, thin is like healthy, when in fact it isn't. You know, thin can be literally more unhealthy than anything. But I'm not saying that, because some people's natural body as well is naturally thin, you know what I mean? Some people have naturally high metabolism, some people have naturally low metabolisms. Like, there's so many different aspects, but we're constantly bombarded with diet culture and, you know, Photoshop pictures and like Love Island and things of these perfect bodies that, you know, we think we should be. If you look at the people on Love Island, you know, you see them and they're like, they've got like super flat stomachs and like they look picture perfect. And then if you start to actually read into their stories though and stuff, you start to realize that. I was reading articles the other day of like, you know, Ellie Mae or whatever her name was, being like, I starved myself to go on Love Island, you know, like, they're just fooling people, like, you know, and like you see these things about like fasting and stuff like that, and it's just shit. Like, if you want to go and mess up your metabolism, then go ahead, and then when you start to eat regularly again, then pile all the weight back on. This is how like obesity and stuff like this actually happens, because people restrict and then they try to go back to normal eating and they start to gain weight really, really, really rapidly, and their body doesn't know what's happening because of this. So my steps for you is to remind yourself why you're doing this journey. Remind yourself that it's not the worst thing that can happen. Write down the positives to gaining weight rather than the negatives, and you will see that the positives definitely outweigh the negatives. Remind yourself that you are more than your body, and that you won't lose loved ones because of it. You won't like lose friends because you've gained weight. People won't judge you. People love you for you and not for your body. And if anyone is like says anything, cut them out of your life. Literally just cut them out your life, because they are not the people that you need in your life. If they are so obsessed with your body, 9 times out of 10, probably because they're obsessed with their own and they have their own issues deep down. And then let's go on to coping with guilt after eating. Hardest thing ever. Best thing, distractions. So distractions such as reading a book like Tabitha Farah's, or recently I received these cards and from Hat's Mama, which you can get on the Etsy store, Hat's Mama shop. And inside these little cards, they are like messages that are trying to just remind you of why you're doing recovery and stuff like that. So things like this. So don't say I'm trying to recover, say I will recover. And then on the back of each card there's like a little mini text thing, and there's absolutely loads of them, and they're really like bright and colorful and cute, and like, you know, I just think they're just something. Like, I was sitting last night because I was actually dealing with some guilt after eating my night snack, because I was getting to that feeling of being like, you know, when you feel incredibly full and then like your mental hunger like kind of shuts off, so you don't want to think about food anymore. And obviously when you're full, your thoughts become a bit louder, because you're like, oh my god, you just gained, you know, weight and crap like that, which isn't true. I just sat and I went through these cards, and you know, they really helped me. So definitely go ahead and check out Hat's Mama's store. I will leave a link in the bio below of where you can get these cards, and they're definitely worth it. You can definitely tell the amount of time and effort that has went into those cards. But like things as well is like, self-care playbooks that you can buy. So I'm currently holding a giveaway on my Instagram at the moment to win a self-care journal, and it's like a really cute little guide thing that you can like, you know, fill out yourself, and it just reminds you about like why, you know, you deserve to recover and everything like that. So like, my best advice though is literally just distract, remind yourself of what you're doing, and just try and just block out as many thoughts as you can, and you can do it. Like, other people think that like you know what I mean, like, stop applying rules to other people and start like having the same things to you. So like, lots of people think that, so for example, your little sister or whatever, or your brother, they eat ice cream. They eat like a full pint of ice cream, say, but you're not allowed to. Like, how does that make any sense? Because it doesn't. It's irrational thought that is completely bollocks, and you literally need to go ahead and eat that full pint of ice cream, eat that full packet of biscuits, eat whatever you want to eat, because literally, like, every time you do something against your ED and do opposite actions, you gain more strength, and the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So the more you challenge that burger, the more you challenge that entire pizza, it becomes easier and easier and easier. And it's just, honestly, it's challenge, repeat, non-stop. And like, you know, when I started this journey again, for like real, I remember I was terrified. I couldn't imagine any indulgence days. I couldn't imagine me eating pizza again, or burgers, or fries, or anything like that. And then now here I am, and I'm almost reaching, you know, like, healthy weight. I'm almost kind of recovered mentally, and like, I'm literally at the stage where I can eat pretty much whatever I want, whenever I want. And I only have like 1 or 2 fear foods, and the only reason why they are fear foods is because of the fact that I can't physically challenge them yet, because I haven't found a place to like that does them gluten-free to challenge them yet. But like, what I'm trying to say is that like, life is so much more, and I said like so many times, life is so much more than food and bodies and how you look, and that there are so many memories and so many other opportunities out there for you, and that I would hate for anyone, and this is anyone watching this video, become a victim of their eating disorder. And the harsh reality of it is that 1 person dies every 62 minutes in result of an eating disorder. And that is so scary, and I'd hate for one of my subscribers out there who is watching this video to, you know, succumb to their eating disorder. And it's just an awful reality of it that like, I hate it so much. I hate this disease, I hate this disorder, but the only one who can change things is you. You have to want to recover, and you have to want to fully commit and get your life back. And you deserve it. Even if you don't think you deserve it, you do deserve it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.